Welcome back to the Green Range. Here we are at the east exit of the Umber Deep mines. Found two new companions, two dwarven guards, X in Umber Deep and built in Umber Deep, both of them melee fighters, and a mule. And we are exiting into a new area called the Earthen Forest. Now, I've made 3 other maps previously. One of them is called Pentachoron Garden. And back when I made it, I explained that it is located in the Green Range. I didn't know that I was actually going to cover the Green Range at some point. So now I had to somehow include it in the map, but I didn't want to actually put the whole thing in here. Actually, the map Pentachoron Garden is like hermetically closed off, so in any direction you go, you will still get to another place in Pentachoron Garden. That's kind of the thing about it. A piece of impossible geometry. So what I did here now was just to add a reference to Pentachoron Garden, but don't actually have it accessible. And that's why you see this piece of floating rock there with a sign pointing to Pentachoron Garden. And the ranger explains that Pentachoron Garden is a place of strong magic, and sometimes it's accessible from normal reality and sometimes it isn't. And this is not one of these days. So yeah, it's basically there to add a reference to this other map without actually having to include it. If you are disappointed now, of course you can go download the other map, Pentachoron Garden, and play that separately. Also, the ranger here said that there are 2 such places of high magic in the Green Range, and maybe we have more luck in the second place. It's coming up later. It's called the Swaven Grotto. If you haven't guessed why this is called the Earthen Forest, it is of course because of this brown terrain texture that is used here. I tried to use different terrain textures in different areas, different biomes, and I have to say this one was basically the most difficult, together with the dark green swamp texture that will come later. The jungle texture and grass texture are very easy to do. Basically anything you put on them, it looks pretty and it looks like a forest immediately. This brown texture, if you see it without all the plants, it just looks incredibly depressing actually. It's a almost hellishly bleak landscape. Maybe if you have played Legends of Arana, there's an area just before the Great Clock that is a wasteland, and it uses this texture to look really depressing. So I tried to make this look nice and foresty and alive, and basically what I resorted to was spamming the place with green plants. So this forest biome has actually a lot more plants than any of the others, and by a huge margin. Actually, it has so many plants that sometimes when you get close to a region border and the engine loads the next region, there's like a lag of half a second or even a whole second, because it, I don't know, it indexes the game objects in the region or whatever. You know, just to load the region, you see these lags sometimes here. Ah, it's getting brighter. I was afraid for a moment we would leave the mines and directly head out into the night, but it was the morning, so it's nice. Here we're getting close to the Cyclops hill. There's a mini boss up there called the Fat Cyclops. Further up north here is another ranger shelter, little hut where you have a multiplayer start position. There's of course a start position in Umberdeep City, and the Web Forest doesn't have a shelter, but it has a start point at the Droog ruins. You see this thin elevated path up there? It's a funny thing the Perlin map generator did. And because, well, it generates terrain, and then I basically add the class trail wherever I see fit. And when I saw this, of course, I decided I have to lead the class trail right over this weird little bridge. Some ranger supplies up there, which means loot. Alright, I'll have to do some inventory management. And I guess that's all for today. See you next time.